Testing, testing. All right, we're on. All right. Hey guys, it's Friday. Yay! I'm sorry I'm not here, but hopefully by this time my sister has had her baby, and I will. Miss Angel text me if I haven't texted you a picture yet, so you guys can see the baby. I'm so excited. His name is Brooks. But anyways, if you're watching this right now, it's Friday and the baby has come. So I'm excited. Anyways, so sorry I couldn't be there, but y'all work hard for Miss Angel. Y'all know she gives y'all rewards. So get those stars, get that stuff, get that positive stuff flowing because it's Friday. All right? Okay, so a really, really important new objective today. It's still fractions. But finally, we are through with equivalent. Well, we're never through with equivalent fractions. But today, we're just going to talk about just flat out taking two fractions and comparing them. And so it's the same thing as when you compare numbers. You're looking for the larger amount, right? Well, fractions, you're not looking at the numbers to be larger, especially on the bottom. But you're looking for the actual value that's shaded, the shaded part. You're looking for which one has more. So that's what we're doing today. So make sure you're on a level 0 starting right now. If you're not, please get on a 0, and then everybody can listen and hear, okay? If you need help or need something or have a question, you better get that hand up. Thumbs up if you get through a problem or you want Miss Angel to check, or right. So just work with me. We're not even on a page yet, so you can shut your packets right now. So don't even worry about a page yet. You don't have this. I'm going to talk about what you need to know prior to lesson. Okay. So movement. No, I wrote no right there. So stay on that rug, stay looking, stay listening. Make sure you're writing down what I write down. Not on this page, of course, but when we get to your packet, okay? Label, 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 label everything, please. And then, so kind of thought for the day is right here. I'm going to keep pointing at it. Every time you see two fractions, I want you to look at the shaded area, all right? The entire value, and I want you to be like, all right, which one of those has more shaded? Like, really, that's all you got to look for. Which one has more shaded? Okay? So here's the deal. I want to talk about, halves. Those aren't tooths. You can't say tooths. So I want to talk about halves versus, let's say eighths, right? We only need to go up to 8 parts. So if you can't tell the difference, these eighths, the unit, one out of 8, it's so tiny. That piece is so tiny compared to this one piece, right? So you have to think about that today when we're writing in words, like we're justifying the comparison, okay? So again, look at this pattern. So we go from one whole, we half it, 2 parts, right? And then if you cut it in thirds, you've got thirds. So look at the thirds. 1/3 is definitely not as big as 1/2. So 1/2 is bigger than this 1/3 piece, just this one piece. But you're telling me the 3, what? Right? So that gets confusing with fractions. So I'm going to tell you what, the smaller the number, the bigger the piece. So look, 2, 3, 4ths get smaller, 5ths get smaller than that, 6ths get smaller than that. So every time you are breaking something into more pieces, so this has 8 pieces, versus 4 pieces, right? These 4ths are bigger than these 8ths because you had to cut this whole into more pieces. than just 4. 8 is a lot more pieces than 4, right? So let's say you're sharing, I don't know, like a lot of times I can see it better with the circles than the strips, but let me tell you the same thing I just told you here, with food, right? Hello, food's better. So you have a whole pizza, right? You split it in half, you take half, mom takes the other half, or grandma, right? So both of y'all are getting same amount, right? But then let's say that you have to cut it into thirds, right? Because you have to share with, now, like, you know, grandpa gets home and he's like, I want a piece. So each of you get a piece, but is it as big as this half? No, because you had to cut the same pizza into more pieces. So the more pieces you have to cut, the smaller and smaller they become. Look at that. It's like a little flip book, right? They get smaller as they get up there in numbers. So this is 2, this is halves. I almost said tooths. This is tooths. This is halves. Thirds get smaller. Fourths get smaller. Fifths gets even smaller. Sixths, sevenths, eighths. So we only need to go to eighths. But look what happens. 10ths, 11ths, 12ths. Wait, I think this is 12ths. Right? Yeah. 8ths, 9ths, 10ths, 11ths, 12ths. So look what happens with these tiny. So yes, you have 12 pieces. That's a lot. That's a big number. But I do not want that 1/12, that little slice. I would rather have 1/2, right? So 1/2 is way bigger than one little 12 right there. Even though that 12 is bigger. So you know some kid, some third grader somewhere is going to be like, this one's bigger than that because it has 12 at the bottom. No. Remember that 12 means that's how many pieces or the whole has, right? So that's going to be tiny. You don't want that, all right? Okay, so let's jump over to our page. I feel like if we kind of just jump in to what you guys are doing today. I'll give you a minute to turn it to, it's like the last 2 pages in your packet. Sorry, I did not look at what it is. Alright, looks like that. It says comparing fractions at the top. Page 11, 12, I think, maybe? Yeah, 11 or 12, okay? So, let me do the first couple with you. Y'all write down when I'm writing. Try not to go ahead, because if you go ahead, you might miss something. I promise you're going to get to do a bunch, earn a bunch of stars. But just stick with me for a minute so we can get through all the different models that you might have. Okay, so if we're looking at those square or area rectangle models that we've been working with, and we ask ourselves this question, which has the most shaded? I don't care about the number of parts just yet, right? But if I just look at this amount shaded versus this, which one has the most shaded out of it? Well, this one has more shaded. More is covered than over here, okay? So this one is going to be my larger because it has fourths, and this is sixths. So the 6 little pieces, there's more cuts. There had to be more cuts made here. So that makes these pieces smaller individually than these pieces. So this 1 piece is way larger than this 4 piece, right? So that makes 2 of those pieces bigger than 2 of those. Even though there's 2 shaded, this covers way more ground, okay? So this is 4 at the bottom, 6 at the bottom, 2 are shaded here, 2 are shaded there, but top number doesn't matter. It's really about that bottom number there. So this has more, so we're going to use our symbols. So we said we're going to use symbols and words. So we're not going to write like a whole sentence, so nobody panic. You don't have to write over 4 words in math, right? But sometimes we do. So I want words on every one of these. Okay, so the way I would describe this, the reasoning or the justification is because fourths are, hold on, I gotta see how it's worded. I pulled up a question. So this is like a question from one of the tests, past tests. See, they say because like thirds are larger than eighths, so they say larger. Let's look at another one. Because thirds are larger than fourths. All right, got it. See, even I gotta look. Okay, fourths. So fourths, remember these pieces are larger than, I need to squeeze that in, than sixth. Okay, so that's how we're going to write it out. Let me do a couple more with you. So we've got the area models, we got the circle models, we've got 2 number lines that we're comparing fractions, 2 strip diagrams or fraction strips, and then kind of more repeated with those models. But I'm going to knock out these 4 with you, so get your pencil ready. Here we go. Okay, so this one I want to compare this, so color that in, and then get that labeled. So that one has 3 parts, right? So I'm going to double check that my denominator is correct, and 1 is shaded. Okay, then I go over here and I notice this one's got 4 parts. Ooh, I'm going to move that. Hold on. This one's got 4 parts. So that does not make it bigger because 4 becomes its bottom number, right? That's a check mark. So check those denominators. Thirds, fourths, right? And then let's shade 1/4 over there as well. So both of them have 1 shaded, right? That does not matter. What matters is which one has the most out of the whole thing shaded. Okay? Which one has the most colored in out of the whole circle, right? So if you even took away those lines, which one has the most shaded? So, I mean, it may be obvious to you and it may not, but here's how to tell. So 1/3 is larger as a piece than 1/4. So let's put it this way. I'd rather have 1/3 of a piece of pizza than 1/4 because this one is slightly bigger. Remember, it goes halves, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, sevenths. So as you cut more pieces, you get smaller and smaller and smaller. So this has fewer pieces, so that means it's larger than fourths. So we're going to write thirds. I'm going to write a little bit smaller. Thirds are larger than fourths. So, if somebody says, well, why? That's what you would say to them. And then you saw those 2 questions that I kind of flipped back to. They've got that on there. All right, so we've got, look, we don't even have to figure out the fraction, but if we did, right, which we're going to, so this number line right here is showing us 1/2, so I'm going to put that number down here, and then this number line, I'm going to draw my strip above, so I'm going to go from 0 to 1, and then, woo, this one's got lots of cuts, lots of equal parts. So see, remember, the more we cut it up, the smaller the pieces are. This is, man, those eighths. Okay, so those eighths are way tiny, all right? So Okay, so even though I colored in 3 pieces and 3 out of 8 pieces looks bigger, like these numbers are both bigger than this, which one has the most shaded on the entire number line? Well, obviously, this one has the most shaded because it goes all the way to there, right? And we know that halves are larger than eighths, right? So we would say 1/2 is larger than 3/8. I totally feel like I spelled the eighths wrong, but you know. Okay? So that number line one is going to look a whole lot like this one. I mean, if you just glance at this right now, what has more shaded? The yellow or the green? Hello, I see more yellow, right? Okay? So they're not equivalent. They're not the same. This one has less. This one has more. The bottom number does not matter. Okay? Because look, this is 3/4. Check. Right? 3 are shaded. So, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? So 8 on the bottom. And then 3 shaded. Label that, by the way. I'm not going to because I'm going to stop talking. But, so look, 3/4, 3/8. Which one looks bigger to us? This one, because we've been trained to say 8's bigger, but not in fractions, right? Look at how tiny these pieces are. Okay? So 3 of the fourths are larger because fourths are larger. I keep wanting to put an S on that. Larger than eighths. Okay? Fourths are larger than eighths. There you go. Okay, so make sure you write out the words. Make sure you know what? I have not been putting my symbol. What am I doing? Okay, so I got to go back and real quick. So 1/3, because thirds are larger than fourths. 1/2 is larger than 3/8. There we go. And 3/4 has more shaded or is greater than 3/8 because fourths are larger than eighths. Okay, you guys finish out that page and then you're responsible for the back page as well. If I didn't fill any in, I think there's one more that I didn't fill in, like the fraction strip one. Miss Angel will take care of that. She'll tell you what to fill in. And then you guys fill that out, finish page 11, do page 12, leave it on the corner of your desk when you get done so Miss Angel can check it. Everyone's worth a point, a star. Okay? I love y'all. Thank you so much for working hard this week. And please follow directions, and I will see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Love you, love you, love you. Have I told you lately?